A life sentence for the man charged with killing former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe 3.5 years ago. The 45-year-old had already pleaded guilty. The trial centered on how much weight should be given to Tetsuya Yamagami, having himself suffered as the child of a follower of a controversial religious organization. CNA senior correspondent Michiyo Ishida with this report.
Tetsuya Yamagami is the son of a devoted follower of the Unification Church. It's a South Korean sect whose members were called Moonies after its founder Sun Myung Moon. A trial that went on for months showed how Yamagami's mother's donations to the church ruined the family financially and made him believe influential politicians were driving the success of the church. He wanted to take revenge by attacking the church leaders, but had difficulty getting close to them. He switched targets to former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe after learning he delivered a message to the congregation. Yamagami shot Mr. Abe during an election campaign speech in Nara in July 2022. Mr. Abe died almost instantly, and Yamagami was captured on the spot. He was accused of violating the Firearms and Swords Control Act, which is a major offense in Japan. Nara District Court called the act a terrible criminal offense and noted the suffering of Mr. Abe's wife, Ake Abe. With a mix of politics and religion in the case, court hearings took place 15 times in total. That's 3 times more than the average. Yamagami's lawyers asked for a sentence of no more than 20 years, taking into account the suffering he and his siblings went through as the children of the church follower, but the court dismissed it. The sentence will be finalized at the Supreme Court. Michiyo Ishida, CNA, Tokyo.
Shinzo Abe had stepped down as Prime Minister before his assassination in 2022. But he remained hugely influential within the ruling LDP, and his sudden death a likely factor in the political instability that has put 4 prime ministers in office in under 6 years. 8th July 2022, Tetsuya Yamagami opened fire on Shinzo Abe as the former leader delivered a campaign speech for a parliamentary election in the city of Nara. The gunman was arrested on the spot, a shock for Japanese in a country that has seen very little of gun violence. Ms. Abe's death underscoring links between prominent conservative lawmakers and the controversial Unification Church. Local media at the time reported grievances that the gunman harbored against this religious movement. An in-party investigation would go on to uncover more than 100 lawmakers also having dealings with the organization, triggering voter backlash for the LDP, which had ruled Japan comfortably for most of the post-war period. Funding scandals that followed further eroding support. Analysts say they see Mr. Abe's second term in office from 2012 to 2020 as the last time Japan would see sustained political stability. A leadership vacuum in the LDP eating into its credibility, culminating in serious losses, taking away majorities in Congress in 2024, in 2025. When Kishida was Prime Minister in 2022, he stepped down in 2024 following a series of political scandals. Michiyo Ishida took over but resigned less than a year after amid major election losses. Sanae Takaichi, she's now in office as Prime Minister, who considers Mr. Abe her political mentor, has led Japan since October. Ms. Takaichi calling for snap polls on the 8th of February. Mr. Abe leaving a distinct mark as well, not just on domestic policy, but also on foreign policy. He was a prominent leader on the world stage, cultivating strong ties with Washington, while also seeking better relations with Beijing. Incumbent Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has repeatedly referenced Mr. Abe's friendship with U.S. President Donald Trump in her own dealings with the American leader, as she navigates uncertain waters during Mr. Trump's second term. But she faces tensions with China after making comments in Parliament on Taiwan. Elections in February seen by many as a turning point for the ruling LDP.
We see a gap between the LDP support rate and the Takaichi support rate. And considering the scandals that Takaichi suffered last November about receiving exceeding the amount of corporate donation, as well as receiving large amount of religious donation, but still her support rates are very high. So this is kind of a phenomenon that people in Japan are observing. And it's very interesting that even though the public has been quite concerned about this problem for the LDP party, but they do not seem to affect Takaichi that much.